Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the A-Side. I am your host, Riley, and welcome to year-end list season. That's right, we're here at the end of 2022, and it's been a weird year for music. A lot of people have talked about how good it's been. I kind of felt the opposite. A lot of artists I love putting out very disappointing and mediocre albums, and a lot of albums really just kind of boring me to death. Not to say that there aren't great albums, because of course there were, and we'll get to that on the best list. But first, for the very first time in the A-Side history, I am doing a worst list. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing the top 10 worst albums of 2022. And I have picked from a very wide variety of both genres and demographics. So chances are I'm going to make a lot of people mad in this video, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and leave a like on this video, because it's probably going to be dislike bombed by at least like 3 of these artists' fan base. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Coming in at number 10. A little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Take a look at where you started from and where you are today. Spring was the first installment of Weezer's 4-album Seasons project that came out, and it really had me worried for the rest of the project. This is one of Weezer's worst albums. A lot of this record sounds either childish or just tired. First track, Opening Night, is the most childish, with the "Shakespeare makes me happy" sampling and interpolating from Vivaldi's Four Seasons. Lead single, A Little Bit of Love, remains the worst song in the album, however. A Little Bit of Love is the emptiest, most sanitized, radio-friendly excuse of a song Weezer has ever made. There's nothing to this song at all. All This Love has some really obnoxious eyes, and of course a fucking key change. You know how much I hate key changes. The sound of drums just pisses me off. You know Phil from Disney's Hercules? The little goat fucker? Yeah, the song makes me picture him all happy and shit playing the drums, and I just want to dropkick him. Angels on Vacation isn't horrible, just rather basic. I like The Garden of Eden, even if it sounds scarily similar to Byzantine from the Black Album in places. And I actually think Wild at Heart is a pretty great closer, but it's the only song here that's really worth coming back to. At number 9, we have Charlie by Charlie Puth. Charlie screams of industry fodder. This record exemplifies the commodification of art, as these songs feel like they were made on an assembly line by a committee of directors, mass-produced to make as much money as possible. The worst part is that Charlie Puth has talent. He's extremely gifted, but he uses these gifts for evil. Take the song Light Switch, for example. The basis of the song is that he samples the clicking of a light switch going on to make that the beat. Cool concept, but it ends up sounding like every other song on the radio. I mean, some of the melodies here are pleasant, and Mr. Puth has a nice voice, but it's all meaningless when all I hear is commercialism. I hate myself, but that's alright, and I love myself, but that's alright, and I tell myself that it's alright, that I dream about the day I die. The Youngblood self-titled album is way better than the previous album, Weird. But that's like saying a shit sandwich is better than getting a leg amputated. I've never been able to stand Youngblood, his voice or personality. To me, he's always been the 14-year-old monster-chugging, edgy little brother of Matty Healy, without any of the talent. However, on this album, he attempts to channel Sid Vicious on songs like The Funeral. The Close to Me sample on Tissues is so lazily done, and a move I find so artistically bankrupt. Emperor has a chorus that's so loud and obnoxious. I like Sweet Heroine, but that's about all. The music on this record is so sanitized, I feel like it was factory made. It makes me sad that this is the state of mainstream rock. At number 7, we have The Other Side of Make Believe by Interpol. This one hurts to put on this list. Man, this album is dreadfully bleak. I find it so hard to get through this album in full. The energy of this band is just gone. I realize the record is supposed to be sad and dark, but everything here just drags. Furthermore, Paul Banks' vocals have lost any presence they've ever had. I love Interpol's debut album. I pinned, top of channel video that plays when you click on my channel is the 10 out of 10 review I gave to Turn Off the Bright Lights, and it's sad to see how the mighty have fallen. This record isn't some ungodly piece of garbage, just one that sounds so tired. I want to make one thing perfectly clear about my placement of Donda 2 on this list. This album is not on the worst list because of Kanye's controversies recently. This album is on the list because it fucking sucks. I'm a music critic, not a political activist, and I want you to know this album was going to be on this list way before Ye went all Nazi on us. Not only is Donda 2 bad, but it's blatantly unfinished. Kanye mumbles through a lot of his bars. I mean, Keep It Burning is just pathetic. Where he doesn't, it still sounds like he's doing a demo take. The mixing is insanely bad on these tracks, too. The beats here are so bare bones. The percussion is so tinny and obnoxious. I mean, look at songs like Louis Bags or True Love. Hell, on True Love, you can hear the drum loop stop and start again. Security is horrible. It's so loud it sounds like a joke. Too Easy has some cool synths on the hook, but it's ruined by the world's loudest 808. What a mess. Not only that, but Kanye is straight up delusional on this record. I'm not surprised by everything that's happened, because I listened to this album and heard a man living in a world that didn't exist as he rapped about his family and Kim K post-divorce. Oftentimes, Ye sounded like a spoiled child, like on the aforementioned Security, where he opens the song whining, "No, you can't be in my mama's album." And even when, he makes straight up threats. The Kim K sample on Sci-Fi is so uncomfortable, and the Kamala Harris sample on Louis Bag is just so strange. City of Gods is a lazy rework of Off the Grid, and they couldn't even be bothered to take Cardi ad-libs off of it. That's not even mentioning the shady business practices. Kanye locked this unfinished album behind a $200 paywall, making Donda 2 exclusive to his stem player. I feel bad for anyone who bought the stem player because the album hasn't been updated at all, and nothing has happened with the stem player since. Furthermore, can we stop cannibalizing X's grave? It's been 5 years, and we're continuing to dig stuff out of the vault. It's just morally reprehensible to me. Let the man rest. I love Flowers, personally, but it's the only good song here. This is way under the bar of Kanye's quality. Donda 2 is, without a doubt, the worst Kanye album. At least until Yitler comes out. At number 5 is Will of the People by Muse. Muse is a band that I used to love. But how the mighty have fallen. Will of the People might be the worst Muse album of all time. You know what? Not even might. It is. The band writes about 1984 for about the 1000th time, except this time they do so with some of the most generic and uninspired lyrics I've ever heard. Seriously, these are so nondescript, it's kind of hilarious. The worst part is that the band acts like they're making some grand and important political statement, but the lyrics never go deeper than, "We need to rise up, government bad." It feels like Matt put little to no effort into this album. When the lyrics aren't boring and generic, they're writing something silly like, "We are fucking fucked," which is just impossible to take seriously. Or they're taking a detour to sing a Halloween-inspired breakup song. For the record, I like You Make Me Feel Like It's Halloween, but it's so out of place on Will of the People, it gives me whiplash. A lot of the musical ideas fall flat here too. The opening track completely rips a Marilyn Manson chorus and puts it over the one of the most generic Ford truck commercial type beats this side of People of the Pride. Compliance has a horribly loud and ear-splitting synth. Don't even get me started on the horribly monotonous rhyme scheme. Liberation is a shitty Queen homage without any of the charisma of Freddie Mercury. Won't Stand Down takes a shot at the 21 Pilots-esque reggae rock sound, and it really doesn't fit Muse. The chorus is cool, but the verses sound terrible, especially the effect on the guitar. Ghost is just a straight-up bore. Killer Be Killed is a great song, with a chorus that sounds like it was ripped straight out of the Absolution era, but not even the glory of a chorus that amazing can save a catastrophic failure like Will of the People. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Taylor Swift, Center of the Universe. This album is shitty, but I'm pretty sure it can't get worse. People treat Taylor Swift as if she's the messiah, yet the quality of her music has been steadily going downhill since Reputation. People will tell you that she's a lyrical genius, yet she writes lines like, "Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby." God, this album is dull. Midnights is easily the most joyless listen I had this year. This record was heralded as Taylor's return to pop, yet it lacks any catchy choruses or fun melodies. You know, the stuff that makes pop cool. It doesn't help that I find Taylor to be a drama queen that thinks the world revolves around her. And quite frankly, I don't care about her decades worth of very public dirty laundry in the slightest. Get Rollin' by Nickelback is the perfect representation of the testosterone-pumping cock rock I cannot stand. Nickelback thinks they're way cooler than they are. They act like they're the most badass, swagger-filled, tough guys this side of Regina. My Nana has more swag than Nickelback, and she's been dead since 2015. These songs lack any originality. Those days is a blatant retread of Photograph. The creepy, predatory, skinny little miss is a retread of She Keeps Me Up. What isn't a blatant retread feels cliched and tired. The guitar work is flavorless, Chad Kroeger uses the same melodies as he's been using since the 90s, and the lyrics about women still objectify them more than ever. The production takes a shockingly bad nosedive on Does Heaven Even Know You're Missing. It sounds like the sound is being forced out of a tube of toothpaste. I didn't even mention the pandering, which is a whole can of worms I don't want to open up. Meatheads and rednecks will try and tell you that Nickelback is real rock, but heavy guitars don't make rock music good. These songs have no emotion, and this song still has no personality. You think we're moving too fast, I'm intoxicated. Oh boy, this is a big one. Number 2. On Honestly Nevermind, Drake quits phoning in rap music and chooses to make some of the least exciting dance music I've ever heard. Seriously, Drake waters down house music so much that it's more of a beverage than a genre. Drake tries to be all sensual on this album, but his goofy ass has the sex appeal of a Care Bear. I don't know how anyone can take this man seriously. I mean, come on. When the bed squeaking comes in on Currents, I was just done. It became even goofier when he whipped out the SpongeBob, SpongeBob melody. Or how about when he says, they say I can change, I say I'm millions? A lot of these songs just blend together, however. On the first tracks, Falling Back, I was like, you know, that's actually a pretty nice melody, Drake. Then he uses it on pretty much every other track on this album. There is little to no difference in cadence, delivery, melody, or tone. The worst part is that Honestly Nevermind fails at being the very thing it sets out to be. A dance album. These songs don't make me want to move. They make me want to sleep or shop at Hollister. There are moments where Drake isn't even attempting to make the songs danceable, like on Downhill. By the end of the record, even Drake is sick of this dance sound because the album closes with a rap song Jimmy Cooks. Coming in at number 1 is Slut Pop by Kim Petras. Slut Pop is a shallow and meaningless album. Filler music for the people who don't want to think. Take a wild guess what Slut Pop is about. A. Sex. B. The geopolitical tensions in Eastern Europe. Or C. Giants conspiracy theories. It's A. The answer is A. The record is about sex and nothing else. It's so vapid. There is no artistry to this record at all. It's just straight up fucking. And I don't have a problem with that lifestyle. If a man or a woman or someone who identifies as otherwise wants to have a lot of different sexual partners, whatever. But just talking about having sex doesn't make for interesting lyrics or compelling music. I'm sorry, but I don't want to listen to lyrics like, whip your dick out, turn your bitch out, this is slut pop, whip your tits out, I want to go harder, I want to come faster, I want to last longer, I want to ride. Or, if you want to come, gotta level up. Licky up, licky up, licky up. Legs in the air, it's a stick 'em up. If you play it right, you can dick me. Do a line on your dick, it's a pick me up. This is the level of lyricism we're dealing with here. Can you get any more baseline or shallow? Shit like, sex me, I'm horny. These lyrics are horrible. They sound like they were written by one of the porn bots that follow you on Instagram. I believe in sex positivity, but this doesn't make for good or interesting music. Songs are called names like Treat Me Like a Slut, Throat Goat, and They Wanna Fuck. The final of which is repetitive and obnoxious, so the music doesn't even sound good. It can't even get on uncomfortable in places, like the moaning on XXX. What makes things even more uncomfortable is that of all people to produce an album about being, quote, sex positive, Kim Petras chose Dr. Luke. Yeah, if you don't know who Dr. Luke is, look him up. Furthermore, he's obviously trying to market Kim Petras as the new Kesha. Problem is, she has half the charisma of Kesha, and the sound of this record is stuck in the 2010s Kesha era that hasn't been relevant in, 12 years. Anyway, that was it. Those were my top 10 worst albums of 2022. What do you think? Are there any records on this list you enjoyed? What records did you have on your worst list? Do you agree with my takes? Do you disagree? Let me know. And if you liked any of the albums on this list, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed something I couldn't. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion. I'm just some silly kid from New York. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed. The best list should be coming soon. I'm still working on it and working on placements and stuff. But it's always my favorite video to make every year, so keep your eyes open for that and subscribe to make sure you catch that. Anyway, thank you for a great year. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.